If you are coming back for the lesson number 2 on this tag journal, then welcome back. And if you're not, and you want to learn how to make this, as well as to see the behind the process of how I come up or conceptualize a journal, then take a look at the video right before this one, and I'll have it linked down in the description below. So this is just a tag journal. I would say it's a matchbook style tag journal. And so we're going to build the inside now. I'm going to start with the center. Like I told you in the last video, I want to add a signature down here. So I'm going to grab the extra piece of paper because if you remember, we cut our 8.5 by 11 paper into 3 sections. And I have the other piece that was left over from this. So I'm going to grab that and see if that'll work. And if not, we can alter it. But I love when projects do fit together because then you're not wasting paper. Actually, that looks really cute. You have the cascading here, and I think that it just looks nice together. And then I want to, I thought about it off camera, and originally I was going to glue down these pieces, like a true matchbook style. These 2 sides right here would be glued down, and then this piece would tuck into here, holding it together without needing any kind of ribbon or anything. But what I'm thinking right now is adding maybe a clip of some sort instead to hold it up, just because if I do this, if I glue this down, then I can't fix this in. I'd have to have it removable because I wouldn't be able to, flip this down. Plus, I already decorated the inside of this, so it would be kind of a waste for pattern paper, but that's an option if you wanted to do that. I really would like to use this blue again. I think that that is really pretty. I also like this, and I have to remember this is just a background, so it's not necessarily the focal point. And I know that these holly leaves are definitely a Christmas motif, but I love them so much. And I think that they would add a nice backdrop. I think I'm going to put it on the bigger paper. The way that my brain works is probably a little different than most of you, and I'd love to hear in the comments what your thoughts are on it. But I usually try to cut the least amount possible. Sometimes that's my biggest detriment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some glue down on here. Then I'm going to line this up to the edge like this, and that way I would only have to cut here and here, and then that gives me the most kind of bang for my buck, and then I don't have to measure anything out. If you can let this process sit a little and dry, your scissors will thank you. But if you've been here for any amount of time, you know that I'm not going to do that. That's so sweet. I'm going to see if that blue goes with that. I kind of like it. I know it's not matchy, but it does have greens, and I feel like, I don't know, I really like it. So we're going to go with it. I've said this before, but the projects that I tend to sit and ponder and worry about where I'm going to put everything and have written out plans, like detailed plans for, are my worst projects. And those that I can kind of just create and let my mind go are the ones that I enjoy the most. Do you create like that, or do you have to plan? I love that. I love the flowers. It's just so, I don't know, kind of Laura Ashley, where it's okay. Like the florals, they don't match, but they go together. It's just so pretty to me. I might add some of this green, which is also some of my very favorite paper ever. Let's go here. Let's not think. Let's just put. I have a secret for you. Well, it's not really a secret, but it's an admission. I love when I'm working like this and the papers start getting thick. Like I can feel this. It's got like a hefty weight to it now. I want to make sure that this isn't pushed all the way to the bottom and that we have some white, and that will help us to bind better later. But also it helps because when you're opening and closing this, it's not bunching up at the bottom. My nemesis when I'm creating is the right angle. It's very rare that my stuff all lines up perfectly. And now let's decide on this. What would be cute is if I could do another blue, since I have a blue here. I don't know if I have any blue papers. Oh, I could do this green. This is very pretty. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's add it. That's so pretty. Okay. And if you would have asked me a couple of days ago what colors we'd use, I probably never would have said greens, but today is a green type of day. And now we have our base. So since this is going to be open now, so the original plan was to glue the sides down, but since this is going to be open now, my thoughts are that I'm going to do something with this. And now, I guess now that we've gotten to this part, we've gotten all of our pieces covered in paper. So that's step number one. But I have a little formula for you. I find that when I'm working with a journal, the hardest part is deciding what I'm going to do. It's not really the decorating. It's kind of filtering out all of the possibilities. So I'm going to break it down into a couple of steps. And so we're going to use these. And this is something that you can use with any journal that you do. And you can use these, or you can use this as a basis and then make your own list, and you just follow that list over and over. So in this case, we're going to start with one. We're going to make a pocket. And I kind of did this like an acronym, like pocket. So to try to make it easier, but it was the only thing I could come up with. If you think of one, put it down in the comments below. So number one is P for pocket. So our first page is going to always be a pocket. Number two is O, and that is going to be actually out. So it's going to be flip out. So our first one is a pocket. The second one is a flip out, flip up, any one of those. The third one is going to be C for collage. The fourth one is going to be, this one's a little, I was fetching a little bit for this one, but this one's going to say keep because it's going to be a belly band. Number 5 is going to be an edge tab. which is just going to be a tab on the edge of your book. And number 6 is going to be a 3-item cluster. I should have written out 3. Okay. 3-item cluster. So what this is, it's kind of our little cheat sheet. So now whenever we're creating, we know that we can do a pocket, a flip out, a collage, a belly band, a tab, and then a 3-item cluster. If you don't want to do it in this way, you can move them around. But this is a way to just kind of remember. It's a little synonym for you to remember that you can use these and then you would use them over and over. So let's say you have a big scrapbook, you can, or journal, you can do your first page pocket, then if next page has a flip out, the next page has collage, blah, 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 all the way through to the 3-item cluster. And then you can start over, pocket, flip out, collage, and you can leave them in this order. And then once you kind of get the hang of it, then maybe you want to do 1, 3, 6, 5, 2, however you want. But this is just a little way for you to remember. And I'm going to show you today, we're going to follow this, and I'm going to start with a pocket. So I'm going to look at these, and I have a couple of different options, right? I can put a pocket here. I can put a pocket here. I can put a pocket in the back. So let's see. I think I don't want to do a pocket here, but this, I think I would like to do the second one, which is the flip out. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a pocket in the back here. So I'm going to grab some paper. And on this, when I'm making a pocket, I think I do want it to be a little bit thicker paper. A lot of these are printed on copy paper. I could use that. I think I'm going to use this. I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to just cut it a little bit extra and then I'll measure it. And then I can decide whether I want to keep the green or I want to take it out. And I actually kind of like the way the green looks here because it's going to have, the other greens. So I think we're going to go with that. Okay. And then at this point, you can distress your edges, you can ink your edges, you can cut a notch here if you want. You can do all types of pockets. I just did a simple pocket. A cute one would be a diagonal pocket. You can also do like a rounded pocket. I mean, whatever you want to do and whatever fits your aesthetic. So I think we're going to go with this, and I think I'm going to leave it for now. I am going to write on the back that it's a pocket so I don't misplace it. I'm just going to leave it right there, and then we'll come back to that. So the next one is going to be a flip out, and I definitely want to put a flip out here. So I'm going to grab some paper, and a flip out does not have to be it doesn't have to be the exact size. It doesn't have to be a big flip out. It could be a little one. And so I think that would be kind of cute to do some of these tags or labels. Let's do 2 of these green ones. So my thought, and we'll see if it works out. So my idea was to have these flip out So because obviously they're printed on the same side, I'm going to cut them down the middle and then I'll just attach them. Okay, I messed all that up because I was texting, so I'm going to redo it with you. Okay, I want this to be here and then I want this to be right on top of it. So let's start here. We're going to leave a little space in between these two. Another thing that I find that makes this a little easier is to cut out several pieces of tape ahead of time so you don't have to fidget. I know for me, if I'm working on something and my brain starts going, I forget what I've already done. I might want this glued down so it doesn't flop all over the place. The other option is you could stick it down with a paper clip. But I think we're gonna glue this down. Okay, so we have a little flip out and let's decorate it a little bit. I'm not making this as a Christmas journal, so I don't want anything that's like overtly Christmas, but a lot of pieces like this, Howard Roses, like you could use this here. That's something that I like to do. I find that a lot of my kits, you can pull things and they can actually share with different, you know, like they don't match, but they go with each other. Yeah, like all of these flowers, I think would work with this because we're using a lot of florals. Oh, I like that piece. I'm going to just leave it to the side. But I'm going to grab some of the Tim Holtz. I don't know what these are called. Okay, so, sorry. Trying to figure out something for my daughter. So, okay, maybe I'm just going to spread these out a little bit. And the other thing that I'll say is I think that my little pocket acronym, did I call it a synonym earlier? I may have. But anyways, my acronym pocket can go, you can use it inside of each other. So for example, this is a flip out, but then I can also do a 3-layer collage or cluster on top of it. I can also collage on top of it. I want something that's cute, but I don't want to, you know, go overboard. I'm also going to use maybe a tab here. All right, let's look at what this looks like. So if I were to leave that there with a tab on it, I want to see when it's closed what it would look like. Oh, and I love that. I love that little tab. This is drying up on me. I haven't used it in a little bit, and I must not have pushed down the little closure, the little nib. Let's see, before it dries on me. oh well, it's dried. So it is what it is. I think that's so cute. So now in here, now we can put our little boy, and he could be peeking through here, which I adore that. And I am just going to glue him down. And we've got him here. It's almost like a little peekaboo. That's really cute. Now we could add other things back here, but I kind of like leaving that like that. What we might do at the very end, and I talked about this, I think in the video before that one, maybe. I don't remember which one, but adding some black on the edges or distressing the edges. But for me, I like using the black. So we're going to do, so that's our first one, or actually we did the pocket and we did the flip out. So now let's go back to the pocket and let's decorate that up. And I don't know if I accidentally or on purpose, added the greens, but they just work so beautifully together. And I'm going to grab another set. I struggle with using some of these like 3 ladies because I feel like they could be a project all on their own. So what if we did these 2? I think they're lovely and I think they're perfect and they're going to go there. So we are going to build a little cluster here and then glue down this pocket. So I'm just looking through. These are some of my just pieces of waxed paper. I also have maybe some tags in here. I don't even know. I meant to clean this out, but I haven't. So we're gonna see if there's anything in here that we can use, and I'm sure there is. I do like this blue color. And I just got a glimpse over here, and I have these dimes. Maybe that we can use this. So I really like that. And I know we were talking about the 3-layer cluster, but I do want to add maybe a word on top of it. I don't know if I have any little labels, so we'll probably just make one. But before we do, actually, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to grab my fountain pen and let's see. I'm just looking for a little scrap piece of paper. I think maybe this blue will work okay. And so let's write out together. And now I can cut it out. I find that whenever I'm doing tags, it's a lot easier, even though I went a little crooked, it's a lot easier to write on something that's bigger and then to cut it down. I think that's cute. And I'm just going to staple it. My goodness, this glue. I always think of my friend Lori because she always says that her glue bottles dry up, the art glitter glue. And so whenever mine give me problems, because I was like, I haven't really had a ton of problems with those, with the art glitter glue. And when I do, I think of her. Like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Another thing that I did here is I didn't go all the way down. There's just the tiniest, like, minuscule of the paper underneath peeking out. And there's just something about that that I love. That also is going to help us with, you know, when we tip something up, it's not going to include that bulk. Look how cute our book is already coming out. So now we've covered the whole thing. Well, we constructed it. We brainstormed together. We constructed and made this tag book, or the idea, the blueprint for it. And now we have taken all of our pieces and backed them with background papers. And then we used our acronym and we did a flip out and we did a pocket. And now you can add anything to this pocket. You can add notes. You can add another tag. That would be really cute. Any kind of embellishment. Or you can leave it like that, and then for the future you can add things in it. But if you were giving this to someone, that would be really sweet. Even if you added a tag, either add a note behind the tag or hidden behind it, and I think that that is just a sweet surprise. So make sure that you join me next week when we go over our next 2 letters and start finishing up this little booklet. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that even through the mistakes and the turmoils that you were able to be inspired to create something. It doesn't always work perfectly, and that's kind of sometimes the point, right? This is about letting go and having fun and enjoying and just allowing our brains time to rest from all of the scrolling, all of the daily mundane and not so mundane, the pressures that we have on us. And this is a little escape time that we have together. And I hope that it was that for you. So I thank you for being here and for all of your love and support always. And if someone has not told you today, you are loved unconditionally. And until we see each other next time, I love you. Bye.